First of all, I would like to thank you. It's 5 p.m. on a Saturday, where most people would choose to relax, scroll, or step outside. But you're choosing to invest your evening in learning and growth. That decision alone reflects something powerful about your mindset. Welcome to the masterclass of entrepreneurial mindset versus skills. My name is Naman Singhal, and I'm absolutely delighted to be your host this evening. Let me begin with a simple question. How many of you had a business idea but never acted upon? The space between I have an idea and I will execute it is where entrepreneurship truly begins. And that's why we are here exactly. Let's be honest. Startup looks glamorous on Instagram. Founder's title look impressive on LinkedIn. But behind every founder's label, there are uncertainties, difficult decisions, financial pressure, self-doubt, and courage to continue when quitting feels easier. Today, we are not here to talk about startup glamour. We are here to discuss what goes behind the scenes. Before we deep dive, let's acknowledge the institute that is making the conversation conversation like these possible. IBMR. IBMR Business School is not just a name. It's a 26 years old legacy of shaping future. With campuses in Hubli and Bangalore, IBMR offers industry-aligned programs including PUC, BA, BBA, BSc, BCA, MBA, MCA, MCS, and many more, designed to bridge the gap between academia and the real-world industry demands. But IBMR mission goes way beyond uh, way beyond preparing students for job. It focuses on long-term careers and nurturing responsible decision makers who creates impact. And today's session reflects exactly on that. Entrepreneurship is raises an important question. What truly determines success? Is it the skill or is it the mindset? Because knowing how to do something and deciding to do it despite of the uncertainties are two very different games. Startup demands execution, but it also demands courage, adaptability, clarity under high stress conditions, and resilience when things don't go according to your plan. In today's session, we'll explore how founders think during uncertainty, difference between capability and conviction, and how to practice frameworks like SWOT that helps translate ideas into action plans. Because before building a business, you must understand what builds a founder. Now, it gives me an immense pleasure to introduce to our speaker of today, Moira Lewis. Moira Lewis is a senior training professional, business owner, and education leader with well over a decade of international experience across workplace training, healthcare administration, public services, and community leadership. As the founder of two training organizations operating across Australia and India, she combines strategic vision with instructional excellence in regulated training environment. She's also known for delivering structured, practical, and people-centered programs that translate into real-world confidence and capability. Beyond all these professional excellences, she is also a proud title holder of Miss India MS. She not only uses the platform to represent grace, but to represent strength, substance, and leadership. We are truly honored to have you this evening. So, without further ado, let's make this Saturday evening count. Please keep your notepads ready. We'll have time for the questions at the end. Over to you, Moira.
Hello, everyone. Good evening. And I'm so excited to see so many people. And Esprit Free Weekend is, like Naman mentioned, a weekend is a place where you do enjoy, but you decided that you are here with me enjoying and learning the journey. That is excellent start to start with. Quickly, we will just start with some questions. Is everyone able to hear me? And we're going to go through a bit of questions. Is that okay? Yeah. So I'll just get Kashish to move the slide for me, please.
Yep. Just a minute. I'm going to spotlight you.
Yeah, I'll just go on the next slide about our first startup question.
1 minute. Let me switch the slides. Just give me a second, please.
Yeah, that's fine. While she's moving the PowerPoint, I'm just going to tease your brain a little bit. I think we had a bit of a understanding of what it is all about the business. What do you think is more important before you start a business? Because now we're talking mainly about business. Is it the mindset or the skill set? We'll just, she's going to give you a spot to write your answers in. Give your brain a little bit of warm up.
Participants, you may drop your answers in the chat box. You can use the chat box to write, or for those who are watching us on YouTube and LinkedIn, please feel free to comment in the live stream and I will translate your answers to Moira.
Excellent. Thank you. We'll probably give yourself another 30 seconds if that's okay, because I'm very excited to hear a lot of things from you guys and vice versa.
Do feel free to also mention the why. You can put it in the chat box. I think I've got Ankita says mindset is all about discipline and skill is all about what we know.
Yes.
She says skill is more important because you need to know how to do a certain technique well.
Okay, thank you. Any other answers?
Sanjana, yeah, Sanjana says both are important.
Excellent. That is the safe answer, isn't it, Sanjana? Thank you. Anyone wants to have a go? Mindset gets you to the garage to build a car. Skill is what actually makes the car move. Excellent. Great.
Nachiket, another person sends in an entry. Skill and mindset are equally important, but without skills, you won't be able to excel.
Excellent. Totally agree. Okay. Any more answers so that we can go ahead with the discussion?
Yeah. I think there's one more person typing I can see, but we can move ahead and I'll translate the question to you.
Okay. Right. Yes, ma'am, go on. Right. Like most of the people mentioned, because they're already very sharp people in this group, it is equally very important, but we are going to weigh the difference between having that mindset and the skill to be consistent and a bit longer. Now, if those of you have an example, if you go to the shopping malls or anything like that, you probably have seen a vending machine, right? Where you put in the money in there and then it pops up. You put in the number and you get the food out. Is that something familiar? Great, thank you. So, if I have something which I'm buying for 100 rupees, if I put 99 rupees, this is hypothetical example. I know we don't have a 1 rupee currency. If I put in 99 rupees and still keep waiting for the answer for my product to come out, it will not work. I need to still ensure I put in the 100 rupees totally into it to get that product out. In the same way, like you all mentioned, that mindset and skill set is more important. But I will explain to you why mindset is more of the 80% and skill set is about 20%. You're happy to challenge me with that? Right. Thank you. Now, when we say both are actually important, everybody's 100% correct. But when it comes to mindset, we're talking about two different types of mindset. We're talking about growth mindset and we're talking about fixed mindset. Can anyone give me a quick example, like you guys are so genius, about what is the difference between a growth mindset and a fixed mindset? Who wants to have a go first? We'll give you 5 stars.
Let's give them a minute to type in. You can use the chat box. Anybody who wants to unmute, you may also unmute and answer. You're welcome to unmute. Okay, we have someone typing on LinkedIn.
Yeah.
Fixed mindset people are rigid and don't want to change, and growth mindset people are open to change. This answer is by Priyadarshini Shikha.
Thank you, Priyadarshini. You have actually hit the nail on it. And when it comes also to, say, for example, I'll give you a quick example on that one, on just to build up on what Priyadarshini has mentioned, is when we do something new, we do have results, or we are trying to do some new task in life, we do have the outcome, right? Every time you take a decision to do something, you have an outcome for it. And when you have an outcome, if you are able to get a feedback and then grow, like you would probably call it as a constructive feedback. Yes, excellent. This is where I'm missing. Maybe next time I need to work on my communication skills. Next time I need to make sure I know the product a bit better. That is responding to a constructive feedback, and that is a growth mindset. The fixed mindset is, oh, actually, I don't think so I'm good enough for talking. I don't think so I'm good enough to actually do accounting. And then stopping yourself right there is the growth fixed mindset. And there you go. We do also have classic examples here. And when you are on the left side, the orange, which is one of my favorite colors, growth mindset is always about growing and learning new skills. There is no age, there is no barrier. And IBMR is excellent in producing this assisting all the students with additional training, because just your degree isn't enough for you to grow in life. We need all those additional skills to keep growing and moving forward. Any questions about growth mindset and fixed mindset here? Or anyone wants to share any of your view or example?
Diksha Sanjay is asking a question. Just give her a minute to type it in.
Sure.
Yes, Diksha, can you please type in your chat question in the chat box? Sorry, in the comments. Yeah, you can put it in the comments. How can we develop? Sorry, 1 second. Can't see the entire question. Okay, so Diksha asks, how do we develop a growth mindset?
Okay. If you look at Diksha, if you're able to look at their screen, if you're inspired when someone does something, that is one of the best example I can do is whenever I go out, which I'm going to talk more about networking in a minute. When we go out and I see someone who's successfully done great things, that is just the tip of the iceberg. We need to understand how much they worked hard and get that motivation to work like them to achieve that. But the moment, if you're on the right side, which is on the green, jealous by success of others, the moment you say, how did that person actually do it? Oh, you know what? And we start giving examples, and we are human, and it's all about our mindset. We are human. We give excuses to our own self for not the growth, and then we stop right there. We try to explain ourselves, no, I cannot do better. Does that answer your question a little bit? Give me a thumbs up if that answers your question. If not, I'm more than happy to discuss a bit more offline as well.
Yeah, she says yes. Thank you.
Excellent. All right. Now we're just going to go very briefly about the next slide. Thanks, Anjana. Now, this is another thing. I'm here today to just confuse your brain. And then your brain will give you a message, what do you want to do? And in life, in your personal life or your professional life, always question yourself, stop and question yourself. Why do I need to do this? Why am I doing this? Or why should I do it? And how is just part of it. Like we were talking about, mindset is about 80%, skill set is 20%. Why and how is exactly the whole difference. I'll give you a quick example. For me, my business is I wanted to make a difference and providing that emergency training to people with what traumatic experience I had in my life. I've lost my father to a cardiac arrest, and I want to bring that message out there. That was my why. How was only 3%. How can I do it? Do I become a trainer? Do I become a community advisor, or do I become an ambulance person? How do I do it? I figured my way out to do it. And once you know how you want to do it, you will get all the resources. You will be blessed with people in your life who will come and they will tap into all your missing resources. And for me, one classic example I can give you as a business, doing a business is never a one person's job. We need to work in collaboration when we're doing a business. Right now we have a great example of what collaboration we're doing. We have Prep Edge, we have got IBMR, we have got Naman from Lifesavers, and me from Lewis Ed Skills Training. 4 institutions have come together to have this session, and that is a classic example of collaboration. And going back to the previous question, how do you change your fixed mindset and growth mindset? Collaboration is the key to success in the business. You don't see another person, another competitor as a competition, but you see how you can collaborate with them. Okay. Another classic example. My own lovely staff member, Naman, lives in Chandigarh, and he actually decided to move to Bangalore. His why was, why did I want to move to Bangalore? Because I need to work, I need to shine, I need to work on my profession, I need to pay my bills. Now, bills is a classic motivation for all of us. But how do I need to get there was very easy for him. Once he took his decision of reaching Bangalore, he either took a flight or either took a train. He started looking for work. He started matching on his skills, and he actually got to Bangalore. Happy with that? It is so hard to do these Zoom sessions because I cannot see anybody. I'm looking at myself.
Yeah, I know. If anybody would like to turn on their camera, please feel free to do so.
Yeah,
I know.
free. We all are there. Would love to have. I'm very old-fashioned. I am not Gen Z. So I'd love to connect with you people face to face. As I said, very conservative women. Love to see everyone. Thank you, Sanjana. Right. Kashish, if we will probably take all the questions in the end so that we can minimize the pause, and we'll
Yeah,
just
we can
move.
do that.
Yeah,
Yes, we
great.
can do that.
Move on to other one. Okay, this is my favorite. Maintain, retain, sustain. Please use this mantra in your own personal and professional life. You maintain yourself, you maintain your professional life and your personal life. If I will turn around and tell you, you need to have a work-life balance, forget about your profession, stay home, stay focused with me at home. Or if I say leave your personal life out of the window and come home and come into work and just focus on your work, I'll be the most dumb person on this planet. It is, people always talk about work-life balance. And there are tips how you can manage it, but it's technically not possible to delete everything out of the window when you move your roles. So maintaining your, when I say maintain, this is about your personal and your professional life. This is the basic. And then we talk about maintaining our paperwork, which I will come to paperwork. That is a very big topic that we need to speak on and very, very mindful. And maintaining your life, maintaining your personal life, because your why starts becoming weaker when your personal life's going down the hill. So maintain your personal life in order to keep your professional life great. And then when you start doing this business, like Naman said, a startup is all a glam. It looks beautiful on Instagram. It looks great. Like, yeah, you know what? You get that any additional adrenaline rush. I've started a business. I am a business owner. And all that excitement can start diminishing because you will come across obstacles. You might not have services. You might not have enough products. You have issues with your competitors. You will have issues with your own self. You will doubt yourself. Why did I actually do it? Do I really needed to do it? But then you need to retain and overcome that obstacle of life and say, of your business life, of your startup life, retain it. Go through, put in strategies, write all the strategies. What has happened? How do I retain my business so that I can sustain for the second year or the third year? Every startup can diminish in 12 months. But if you go beyond the 12 months and move on to the second year, you're actually retaining your strength and your momentum in the business. The third year, if you reach, you are actually sustaining it right. And once you sustain, back goes the cycle. Maintain, retain, sustain. Can everyone take your mics off and tell me maintain, retain, sustain? Nice and loud.
Maintain, retain, sustain.
Maintain,
Excellent.
retain, sustain.
Excellent. Louder.
Maintain, retain,
Maintain,
sustain.
retain, sustain.
Right. And we are maintaining everything. Here, I'm giving you probably about your personal and your professional life. When you're not able to maintain your personal life, you'll not be able to maintain your professional life. And they are both interlinked. We need to keep the chain nice and strong, which I will talk about the next step. Okay, Kashi, we'll move on to the next slide quickly. Right. Who knows about SWOT analysis? The younger generation for sure. We would say SWOT analysis is all about, we would probably hear when I studied my business education, when I did my degree, I learned about SWOT analysis and I thought SWOT analysis was all about the business. But SWOT analysis starts with us. S stands for, can we go just give a tap on the slide? What are your strengths and what opportunities can you have with your strength? What is your weakness? No one is perfect. You must have come across interviews where you say, talk to me about your strength. Tell me about your weakness. And I've been on the interview panel many times and people say, oh no, actually, I don't have any weakness because you actually worry about what if I don't get the job. And remember, the person who's also interviewing is a human and they understand 100%, none of us are perfect. We need to look at our weaknesses and then see, because of my weakness, what am I losing out in life? And then if you're able to analyze that, you can work on your threats and convert them. So your left side are your positive and the right side are your negative. And you can interchange them really quickly. So what we're going to do now is we're going to pause for about a minute, 60 seconds, and I'll get you to write 1 point of your own self. Here we are talking about Sanjana, Zia. I just can see a few names. Sanjana, I'll just use you as an example, or let's talk about Zia. I'm going to use an example. Zia, what is your strength? And with that strength, what opportunities can you have in the business? Or what opportunities can you develop for yourself? What is your weakness? And what can be your threat? You don't have to share it with us. You can all write it. But there will be one brave person in this group who will share their strength, opportunities, weakness, and strength. Okay, so we'll give you 60 seconds.
If you're watching on Zoom and LinkedIn, if you're watching on LinkedIn and YouTube, please put in your SWOT analysis of yourself if you're comfortable in the comments. I'd be happy to relay it to Moira. For those watching us on Zoom, please put it on the chat box if you feel like to.
And I will probably ask one brave, excellent volunteer who can go through your SWOT analysis with all of us. Okay, got a timer on. See, the time is flying so quick. Rude, I'm not looking at my phone, I'm looking at the timer. Kashish, has anyone put a hands up to volunteer when we are done with the 60 seconds?
Yeah, they're still typing it in, so I can see them typing.
Yeah.
We'll have to give them another 30 seconds, I guess.
We would like one co-speaker who can talk about their SWOT analysis to ourselves. And we will wait for the person. Success is always out of your comfort zone. I've always heard that, and I can vouch to it. Actually, you've got 4 seconds left.
Yeah, Ria has shared her SWOT analysis. I can read it out to you.
Would she be able to tell us?
She's watching on YouTube, so she's watching the live stream.
Okay, all right. So is there someone amongst the group who can talk to us about the SWOT analysis?
Yeah, Sanjana, Zia, would you like to unmute? Would you like to share your SWOT analysis? Sanjana, have you done it? Would you wish to share it, or do you not want to share it with the group?
I'm more than happy to elect someone, and I know who I'm looking at. Kashish, how about you take the go? Thank you.
Yeah, Sanjana's raised her hand.
Okay, great.
Sanjana,
Thanks.
go ahead. You can
Hello,
unmute.
ma'am. Good evening.
Hi.
I'm Sanjana.
Yep.
According to me, when it comes to my strengths, I can say my strengths are basically I have strong analytical skills and effective communication. No matter what, if it's a small opportunity, I will go for it. I win or lose, I don't watch. I will try. That's my strength. And weakness is sometimes over involving myself in details which can solve decision making. I'm working on better delegation sometimes, and I prioritize. And when it comes to opportunities, I see expanding my skill set in digital marketing especially, and leveraging new skills technologies to improve business performances, ma'am.
Okay, great.
So when it comes to my threats, potential threats rapidly changing in marketing trends and intense competitions, which requires continuous learning and adaptability.
Yeah.
So for that, we need consistency is the key to success, as you already told. So that's it.
So with your threads, like you answered your own questions with your threads to consistency. So we are looking at our growth mindset. Is that what the word would be? The growth mindset?
Yes, ma'am.
Growing, accepting, changing. But if we have to know what we want to do, we always need to stop and do this SWOT analysis. I don't know, people have got partners, don't have partners, I don't know. I love to date myself because that is a time where I can sit with myself, have a cup of coffee, and look at what I'm doing. And I've been doing this very, very strongly in the last 6 months. So do not hesitate to date yourself. And I know you will be so much involved in your business all the time. This is the work, but it's always stop and date yourself and look at your own SWOT analysis. Talk to yourself about that. I will give you one classic example. There are 2 woodcutters actually given an axe each to chop all the wood. I'm going very old-fashioned. Chop all the wood in a forest, right? So one guy goes bang, 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 and he does not stop. And then he really, really struggles later on. But then one person he stops, and then he starts again. And then he's like, why is he stopping? And then he starts again. And this guy stops and he starts again. What do you think the other woodcutter was doing? This guy was going, I need to cut all the woods in the forest. And this guy is cutting the woods, but he's stopping. He's cutting the woods and he's stopping. What do you think the other woodcutter did? But who finished it? I'll give you the answer. The person who was actually stopping, not doing it continuously, was the one who actually did it all, and he won it. I stay calm, excellent. Yeah, and even if we have enough time to go through all these SWOT analysis, I'm more than happy to connect with you people after and go through them. My best question is, the person who was actually stopping and not doing it continuously was the one who actually was able to crack it. But the other one was doing continuously, but he was not able to achieve cutting all the woods of the forest on his end. What was the difference?
I think the person paced themselves well, saved energy, took time
Yeah.
off.
Yeah, and
Probably sharpening the axe so he can move forward.
great one. He stopped, he sharpened the axe, he went again. He stopped. And when he stopped, he's able to catch the breath and give himself a pace, like Kashish mentioned, but he's again sharpening the axe. And in our business, in our life, what is the sharpening the axe just now we're talking about? We are on the screen of SWOT analysis. This is exactly what it is about, sharpening the axe. Thank you. Excellent. 5-star, Naman. I'm going to send over a dairy milk chocolate for you. Thank you. Right, let's move on. We've got only 15 minutes left. Bang. And while we are on there, go back to the priority matrix, please.
Can you hear me? Hello? Can you hear me?
Yes,
Moira?
we can. Yes. Can we go to action priority matrix?
Yeah, I was just saying that the classes is until 6:30.
Oh, okay. All right.
Yeah. Just wanted to let you know about. Okay.
Okay. Does anyone know about this mantra in life? Action priority matrix. People who have been around me, work with me, probably definitely know about this mantra. I will just quickly explain that, what I do, how I do, because with having 2 businesses, having a personal life, and wanting time for myself for self-care and social life, there is a lot of things that I get involved, and I have got 24 hours, unlike anybody else. The most successful person or the person who's busy or not busy. Now, there is a difference between are you busy or are you productive? This mantra will actually help you to identify. Now, for me, I don't know, there's so many things going on in my life, and I find it so overwhelming. What do I actually do? And this is what I learned when I was working as an executive assistant for the government, where I had to manage 25 calendars and manage 2 big public sector hospitals. And I thought, you know what? First thing, is it important and is it urgent? I do it right there and I put it in the left quadrant. And the right quadrant would be, it is important, but it's not urgent. You know what? I'll do it a bit later. You can put it aside. It's urgent, but it's not important. Sometimes it is very urgent for you to pick up the phone, look at the messages, reply to the messages. But is it important? No. It's okay. You can get one of your assistants to look at the emails, look at a few things and few different examples. And if it's not important and it's not urgent, just leave it. People around you, when you are growing, you will have people around you haunting your growth, trying to drain your energy with all my experiences, trying to come and talk to you or let you down. Are they important people in your life? No. Is this task important in your life? Giving them an explanation about why are you doing this business or who you are, and it's not at all urgent. Just leave it, dump it, postpone it. But there are other examples, like you can see, this is how I look at, but there are all other things how you can look at with a tool. Kashish, will you be able to send this to people afterwards as a resource for people? Because this is always there in every office I've worked in, and a printout. And anyone who works with me, day 1, day 2 orientation, they get this action priority matrix. Naman, you should probably be aware of this matrix as well that we have gone through. So, and it does help with all your work.
Absolutely. I can share this with all the participants. The ones on YouTube, please take a screenshot. I don't have your contact information since you're joining us live. And those who are also seeing us on LinkedIn, please take a screenshot. For the registered participants, I'll just send it to them on their email.
Okay, we can also get it on Google. Just Google action priority matrix, it will also come up just in case. And when you are thinking, our brain is wonderful. Our brain works in the algorithm of exactly what we do, like a Google search, right? You try and search, this is the car I want to buy. You start searching, and your whole social media, YouTube algorithm will start picking up all the ads of the car. Why do you need to have the car? And different oil companies. Our brain is also having the same algorithm. What you think positive, the brain will start looking at positive things. You'll start looking at negative, it'll start happening. Why? Because life goes up and down. I am not perfect. I'm just a human being. And if anyone has seen an ECG monitor, it goes up, it goes down, it goes up, it goes down. That means we are still alive. Exactly. You can be in a positive phase, you can come down, you can go up, you can go down. But when you come down, you need to remember how you go up. You need to refer to all the resources, the networks, the people, everything that can support you. How do we remember all the algorithm? My brain will not remember what I'm thinking about. I have got 10 different tasks. I have got 6 different calendars to manage. I have got 4 different admin to work on. How do I manage all of that? We all know that technology is excellent. It's great. We have got all possible apps. We have got all possible calendars that we can refer to. But is technology reliable? No, not always. Try shutting your phone down for 10 seconds. You will probably think that you've lost oxygen in your life. So what I do is personally, does everyone know about the big post-it notes that we use, like post-it notes, little post-it notes, scribbles? Yes, thank you. So scribbling, writing with a piece of paper is very old-fashioned, but it's still there, because when you write, when you scribble, you can remember most of the things. When you're sitting at home, because at night you don't want to be in front of a blue light looking at your phone, use your book, use your calendar. As Naman knows, who works for me, I've got so many different calendars, but I still go with my old-fashioned diary because I like to scribble what I want, what I do at. And I'll probably show you, even today for the session, I know what I'm talking about. I know my journey, my experiences. I scribbled it. Probably I have to pull it out. I will show it at the end because it's on the scribble. It's a big wall chart. You scribble, you put it on the wall, you put it on the wall. Look, startup is glamorous. It's beautiful on Instagram, but at home, behind the scene, like Naman mentioned, we only see the tip of the iceberg. Underneath, you need to have your bedroom with all these sticky notes, with a vision board, and then see what you want to work, and your brain will start working onto it. I had heard about this many, many years ago, but you know what? I thought, you know what? It's okay. Let me just look at my technology. Let me look at that. I don't want to go paper-based. It didn't work. It did not work. My brain did not pick that algorithm of that positiveness of success. I started a business, left it. I started another startup, it stopped. I tried another startup, it stopped. It did not work till I actually started executing, writing, scribbling. If your room is messy with all the paperwork stuck on it, with all your vision board, with all your plans, with all your scribbles, write anything on there, that is already a sign that you're growing. And that's exactly has happened with me as well. Can anyone share any of your experiences in a similar situation, if that's happened to you? Kashish, do we have anyone answering on it?
Not yet. I'm just waiting for them. Let's give them a minute there. This is live streaming. There's at least a 4-second delay until the relay is showing on YouTube. So we have to wait a couple of seconds.
But even if there's no one wanting to speak, give your brain a little bit of warm up and go with those questions. Yes, I've heard this before. Technology is great. Technology can make you lazy, but having a book, a paper, and a scribble, like journaling, is a great example.
Sachin has responded. He says, I use a yellow notepad and use it to write pros and cons every time I have to make an important.
Thank you, Sachin. And does that, I'm pretty sure it always works for you. Pros and cons for everything. Do I get a new 17 Pro Max? What happens if I buy a new 17 Pro Max? What happens if I don't buy a 17 Pro Max? Weigh it, and then you can work on it. Think about now, maybe we won't go through everyone, but think about one immediate thing that you're thinking about, and I need to make a decision. Let me scribble it on a post-it note. scribble, leave it. Then you scribble a bit more and you get a big, you know how he mentioned about the yellow post-it note? You also get a big one which you can stick it to the wall. Oh, yeah. Has anyone been, I don't know, sorry guys, I've been out of the country for over close to 20 years, but here in some of the restaurants, they leave a paper on the table, like a big disposable paper table. It's called butcher's paper. Does everyone know the term butcher's paper? It's where the meat is wrapped here. It's called the butcher's paper. Chart papers to study formulas. Excellent. And not long ago, 3 months ago, I had a meeting with a business owner. I just happened to meet that person in a restaurant. I needed to quickly have a chat to them about collaboration. Unfortunately, I didn't have a pen, paper, and I didn't want to be typing on my mobile phone. We started writing on the restaurant on the tablecloth, the disposable paper cloth, which is called the butcher's paper. And that was my bring home to discuss what we actually had it. And then that was another successful collaboration, which I had about. So they are my regular corporate clients at the moment. Right. We are happy to move on to the next slide, Kashu. Someone is asking to be admitted. The resources for Action Priority Matrix will be sent to you. It's not owned by me. I don't hold this. It's available even on Google. Right. There comes the most important thing. Like we said, planning is so easy. Execution is hard. We have seen these points here. I want to maybe give a classic example. Can someone tell me about one most common example that happens in end of December, early January with people? There is always excellent planning in December, and the research and the statistics says that there's the highest number of people across the globe who have planned in December. And January, it works excellent, and then it falls apart. But there is only 30% of the people who planned will be actually able to do what they plan to do in December. What is an example can you think of? Quick raise of hand, which mainly happens in December. Thank you. Thank you so much, Prithvika. It could be your weight loss program or it could be your fitness journey. You've got all that energy. 30%. There is a highest rate of admissions in the gym in the month of January. It is also the stats which you can also look up, and it's also some of my friends who are business owners. January is the most busiest month of them. So then they join, they will have a personal trainer. We will all having, this is your exercise program, this is your food program and everything. We start executing, okay? Also the New Year resolution of, yeah, great. Most of the times is the new resolutions, and this is a very classic example. And come June or July, did I achieve my 8 kilos of weight loss or my full muscle fitness body by July? Not everyone are able to achieve it because only 30% of the person has actually executed that plan, and 70% of the person kept the plan as is under the table. Is there any person who will disagree with me on this point? Because I have also done that. I have various different plans. I had people coming to me and saying, Moira, this is what I need to do. This is business I am doing. And I had so many different plans when I was in school that this is what I need to be. But I did not execute most of them at that point in time, and it did not work. Can someone support me on this one or give me some of their ideas to work if it's fine, but fail to take it to the market? Startup founders plan their product to perfection, but fail to take it to the market. And what do you think that will stop the execution to the gym? Planning is easy, right? Like I love to give the example of gym. You know why? Because I've done that several times. And I am not ashamed to be vulnerable in this situation because I've done it year after year after year. And I've not stepped in, and I will confess to the whole people who are watching me, I've not stepped into the gym from last 4 months. Okay, but I had excellent plans this year as well. Whatever could be the reason, I will give you 50,000 reasons why I did not go to the gym. Because I was not able to execute. What was that one thing that was actually stopping me? My mindset, my consistency, my determination. Because I already have everything. Like if I turn around and go to an most successful business owner, or I love Oprah Winfrey. I love her. I want to be like her. But Oprah Winfrey is her, Moira Lewis is Moira Lewis. But she will say, all right, sit down with me. I will tell you who I am, what I did, and I will write it to you in a black and white paper pen. And I will still not be able to use it because we're going to use our growth mindset and also our skill set. Skill set is also given to me. The skills are given to me. This is how you need to work out. This is your food plan. But my mindset to follow that, to stay consistent, to stay determined is something important. And that's how all startups actually fall apart in the first 1 year. And I'm saying that because I have lost startups in the beginning as well, but not anymore. Right, let's move on. We'll discuss a little bit more about one great example with my great experience. Please do not put all the eggs in one basket, right? We are talking about, there you go, it looks really fancy. Yeah, and there, who's that coming through? Ooh. You know who the snake is? You, yourself. Because you're trying to do, you will try and put everything there. You've got your skills, you got everything, but you diversify your skills, and that will help you diversify your income. Okay. And another classic example, I know there is Brosnan Anthony in this group, and I know Brosnan personally. He plays great music, has got a big band of music together. But if he tries to use one skill, he's not able to have the whole orchestra. He's going to diversify his skills. He's going to diversify his income. So if there's not one person there, we can always cover up, back up. With my skills, yes, I do diversify. I'll give you my own classic example. I have diversified my skills. My strength is my communication. I do not fear standing up in front of 4,000, 5,000 people. I can go up on stage and talk to them. But the Zoom is a bit of a bother for me because I can't see people. Okay. I can talk to people. That is my strength. And that's how I changed my skill from what I was working from the government. As I said, there are failures that come through. There are people that come through in your life. There's relationships that come through in your life. And then they actually tell you, no, this is not what it is, Moira. You need to improve on the next one. There are people who will show you who you are, and you need to build on their skills. When I studied in theories of management, there is Johara's window, which you can actually go look at it, where you don't know yourself as much as other people know. So you work on that, you diversify, and then I can earn my income in my business. I can diversify my income if my business, if I cannot stand up and teach, which is me, I am the face, I am the business, I have got products to sell. I've also diversified my income. There you go. This is my skill. I will sit with you and I'll provide you my skills. What do you give me in return? You either barter, collaborate with another business, or you collaborate with finances. Please do not do any business for zero. Because the moment you will keep asking for skills and say, that's fine, I will do it for you, and you do not get back anything in return, you will start devaluing yourself. People can, free things are not values. Thank you, Prithvik. I totally agree. Some people not agree. No, I need an experience. This is what I needed to do. Then go volunteer. Go volunteer yourself. The reason why I still volunteer with the Air Force cadets and the instructor, I don't get paid, but I get a lot. Even if you get some intangible benefits, but what about exposure? So my example is volunteer. Your role with a very esteemed organization, volunteer time, but make sure in return you're getting something, you're getting intangibles. So I get to study a little bit further. Skills cannot stop. I cannot say I've got a degree, I am perfect and I want to grow. Skills cannot stop. I will volunteer. In return, I'm asking them for my education, paying for my education, my training, my practical, and I'm getting things in return, and I'm getting amazing exposure. So choose. I can help you find out where you can put in your exposure there to volunteer time. Prithvi, does that answer your questions about exposure? Devaluing, yeah, because you will start putting out there and telling people, here you go, you can have me, and I'm not valuable. And then that was another biggest cause for you to step down and your mindset, and you will lose motivation in yourself. Volunteership instead of free work. Yes, thank you. Always barter with people what you want and never hesitate to ask. When you ask somebody a close-ended question, you ask someone, you get only two answers, yes or no. If it's yes, excellent, let's work with it. If it's no, why no? Try and ask it and try to negotiate, or step back, that's not for you, step back. There are only two answers that we always work for. Never fear to ask. Right. And other thing, one great advice I could do amongst all of that, no matter how you start up your business, whether you start up your business with your partner, your personal partner, your spouse, or your friend, or your family, or your own mother or father, does not really matter. Please make sure you have got everything in writing, and every business needs to have an exit strategy. If it's not documented, it's not happened. I might pay 10 lakhs, I know it's not a lot of money now, to buy a property in Bangalore or somewhere, and if I don't sign the paperwork, that is not mine. If it's not documented, if it's not on Instagram, it's not happened. We are in that new technology world at the moment, but if it's not documented, if it's not written, it's not happened. Be very mindful. Think with your mind, not with a heart. Everything has to be documented. We play a role. I'm going to use John and Mary. John and Mary play an important role. We also talk about not having John and Mary having the same skill set. John has to have a separate, unique skill set, and Mary has to have a separate, unique skill set. And when they come together, two business partners come together, you can make things happen. But everything has to be written, documented. What if Mary does not want to continue the business? What is the exit plan? What if John does not want to continue the business? What is that? Please invest yourself, document everything, because you don't document, you will lose everything of the business. You will lose the motivation you never want to do again. Prithvika, would you love to, I see a lot of a spark in you. Do you mind sharing that experience? And I am more than happy to be vulnerable about myself too. Kashish, is Prithvika happy to speak? After I purchased the equipment, the partner bailed on me. Does happen. And did you have any document or any paperwork to back you up? Probably not, right? That was a worst experience. Yes. Some of the businesses that I've started, exited, was all on conversations, but in the last two, I have made sure everything is documented. It's all been written. Because firstly, you will lose the motivation to continue with the business. Yeah. And secondly, you have lost everything. You need to start all the way from the scratch, rock bottom. Do not trust anybody with anything. I will also let's talk about, I know there is a lot of trend, which I'm not able to keep up with, different types of relationships, situationship, crumbing, love bombing, and all those things I actually see. No matter what your relationship, if you're not married, you've not seen the document about marriage, you don't belong to each other, you don't own each other. That is one best example. You might just name it as situationship, crumbing, and all those terms which I'm still trying to keep up with. That marriage is a document that brings two people together, and when you take that binding off, you need to have an exit strategy, and then that will keep you safe mentally and physically as well, and financially. Anyone wants to give a classic example about documentation? Great example. Thank you. Right. And how about, I am unsure of all the amazing people, what experiences you'll have so far in the businesses. You know how the woodcutter was actually stopping and sharpening the axe about SWOT analysis? Another thing that a woodcutter would also do, which is, now we are talking about the woodcutter being a business owner, okay? And he's actually stopping and checking the health of the business. Stopping and checking the health of the business is always very important. Where your business is at, how much money have you invested? Did you actually need to invest all that money? Did you need to have all that equipment? Did you actually need to have 4 staff, 5 staff together? Do you need to pay all that fancy offices? Look at the health of the business, week in, week out, week in, week out, and have it in front of you on a document or a printout and scribble. And then that will actually help you to keep going stronger and be consistent and persistent in your business as well. And not long ago, 3 years ago, I went in for a very exclusive training about document writing or document reading, or proofreading for that matter. when I was working for the government. And we were actually meant to print everything and read what we actually typed. I was surprised that the 3 full days where we did the training, every time I have typed something, try to proofread it, when I try to print it out, I could find my own mistakes, right? And that's exactly another example of checking the health of your business at all times. Right. How are you going with time, Kashish? We've got a little bit. Stop saying family, start saying team. Everyone is replaceable in the business, including you. Do not think that you are the most important person on this planet in your company. You are the one who's growing this business. You know what? I've seen people talking about it in the staff room. You know what? This is what the sales I bring. This is what I have done. It's okay. We can replace you in a week's time. They're gone. But having that bond. Simple is a very honest quote that I was taught here, but I really don't know at the moment. It says, love your job, not your company. It's probably to do with Infosys, I think. We have another 10 minutes. Okay, love your job, not your company. You love your job, keep your family. You can be replaced. Put your family first at all times. Because you might be sitting there in the office working and building the business and wanting to move the business at the next level, but you may not have a family back home. And we can learn to delegate. Delegation is a skill. Delegation is a task. If you want to be a leader, you need to know how to delegate the business. If you don't know how to delegate the task, you cannot be a leader. You're going to be a boss. You're not meant to even micromanage most of the times, but look at the growth of your business. We all know the franchising model, right? About all the businesses, like we look at McDonald's, we look at KFC, we look at all this fancy franchising model that are so successful all across the globe. They have delegated their summary of how they run the business and their skill set. The person who takes over the franchisee has to have the right mindset to use the skill set and go a bit further. So they might give 10 different franchisees, out of which 7 might be successful, 3 may not be successful. But you need to stay consistent. Can someone give me a quick answer? Those of you who have worked around me maybe know this answer. How many times was the person for KFC rejected for his recipes? His recipe was constantly rejected because he used to start making that chicken when he was younger, but finally decided at 65 that he's going to franchise it out, start cooking, have that model out there. And his recipe was constantly rejected. Can anyone give me an answer? How many times was that recipe rejected in the community? We love KFC. I love KFC. I don't know about others. Yep. Great. Ronald, thank you. It is definitely over 1,000 times. It's about 1,009 times it was rejected. It is just to stop and ask yourself, would you be able to act like him at the age of 65? You're not talking about 25, 35, 45. You're talking about 65. Stay that consistent and stay over 1,010th time to say, here you go, please try my recipe. I personally think over 1,000 times. So far, I have not done, but you know what? It's a growth mindset. I will work on myself to see if I can go over 1,000 times. And today, even after he's no longer in this world, he's passed a legacy all around in the business. For him, it was a startup. He used to sell it around like a small stall to start with. It was a startup that built it up. J.K. Rowling books was rejected over 12 times before Harry Potter was published. Excellent. Thank you, Mona. And also another great example, another great tip that I could give you, which I have implemented in life, is to learn the case study of all successful business owners, all successful businesses. Uber, we all use Uber, right? Very convenient app. Find out, how did Uber do? Where did they do? How long did they running on negative? Any businesses says at least 2 years to start making profit. We talk about Uber. We talk about, anyone knows about McDonald's? What is their highest percentage of revenue with McDonald's? We all know McDonald's is with burger, right? Does McDonald's make all the revenue with burgers? My question, yes or no? If no, why? If yes, why? Kids, Happy Meal? Yeah, you know what? I love eating Happy Meal now because I get the free toy to play with, or I give my fur baby. Yes. What else? What is the most revenue about McDonald's? I can also leave you as a homework. McDonald's makes most of its revenue about, I am really behind with stats at the moment. I think about 60 to 80% of their revenue is for real estate and not burgers. So it's always very great. Wow. Yeah. It's always great to look at some case studies because most of the times I will tell you I am being vulnerable every single day at times in life when I don't sleep and I have 5 different jobs to do. I think, why am I doing this? Who am I doing it for? Why do I need all of that? Why can't I just be sitting on the couch and going out on the weekend? But you guys are different because you're sitting here looking at your businesses, and that's how you're going to grow differently. Change is very uncomfortable. If people are saying you are absurd, I don't know what you're talking about, I don't know what you're doing, why can't you just have a 9 to 5 job? I had a lot of criticism when people found out that I was leaving a secured government job here in Australia for working for 13 years. People call me absurd. That is a sign of growth. People call you, what are you doing? That is a sign of growth. Your haters club increases. That is a sign of growth. Now, we will probably take some quick questions. We are nearly there. All I'm going to summarize: documentation, your mindset, your skill set, everything is all important. SWOT analysis, love dating yourself, sharpen the axe by having a growth mindset. Kashish, can we please quickly move on the next slide so that we can open up for questions? Never stop learning. Yeah. And we mentioned about collaboration as a key. Thank you. I have learned this about reading a long time ago in my life, and I spent all the money buying all the fancy books and decorating it on my bookshelf. But I didn't execute it. I didn't use it. I was not able to have that knowledge. I put it in a box, put it aside in storage, and not using it. But when I went back to all my books again, slowly, because I am getting older, I cannot read the books all the time. I've thought about another solution. I'm looking at audibles. I'm hearing the book. I'm driving with the book. And again, all these things have actually helped me. But I've also read Skill with People. If any of you are not reading, if you question or interview any successful business entrepreneurs or successful people in various industry, yeah. So I listen to podcasts. These are just an examples of the books we have. These are my favorite books, which I always tap back into, but they're quite a books that I read. There is books about leadership as well. Now, Skill with People is a very thin book, which any starters can read. If you're not in the habit of reading books and want to go to basic, Skill with People is a very excellent book that you can start with. And putting all these books together, which is part of your personality and your business, there's another classic book that I would highly recommend people to read is 5 Love Languages, which is written by Gary Chapman. And we do have that. We can elaborate the 5 love languages in your business, how to look after your employee, your competitor, and your family as well. Yeah. 5 Love Languages by Gary Chapman. That is another favorite book of mine. If you want to start up with, it's okay if you're not reading books. That's perfectly fine. I've gone up and down and up and down. I've stopped, come through it. But once you start, you will want to read it and you will definitely learn. And most of the things what I've spoken to you about is actually picked up from the book, which I have implemented in my life. And I'm now sharing it with you people. Right. Can we open up the floor for questions, Kashish?
Yeah, just give me a minute. I will open up the questions on YouTube and LinkedIn as well. The ones who are here, if you'd like to share your thoughts, you can put it in the chat. Sanjana says the secret book written by Rhonda is one of the best books for.
Thank you.
Thanks, Sanjana. Let's give the people who are watching us live a few seconds because there's a delay in the relay when we do a live stream. So let's just give them a few seconds and we'll open up for questions. You may unmute and ask. So Sanjana, Mrinal, you guys are here. Brahman, if you're here, you know, if you'd like to unmute, ask any questions, we're open to do that. Yes, Sanjana, would you like to unmute? Sanjana says, I have a question for you, ma'am.
Yeah. Sanjana, if you're having technical difficulties in unmuting quickly, you can just type it in and Kashish will read it out to me.
I have a question. In the meantime, I have a question from Dayanand. He's asking about how do I say no to an offer while still having to politely collaborate. Let me put that in here. I am not sure what's the
Okay.
context here. How
So
do
you're
I?
not happy to collaborate with that person. Is that what I'm understanding, Dayanand? But
Yeah,
you
let
want
me put in the chat box here. How do I decline an offer? Dayanand, can you please elaborate on your question a little bit? Are you talking about a monetary offer, or is it are you
any
talking about a job offer? Sorry?
any sort of collaboration it could be. We can talk about general collaboration.
Okay, I'm not sure what exactly he means by decline an offer and still potentially collaborate. Oh, he means potentially want to collaborate in the future. So he's saying,
Okay.
how do we politely decline an offer now, but keep the options open in the future? I think that's what.
Okay. Firstly, the great thing is, Dayanand, very, very excellent. The great thing is we always have to be very clear with our communication. Okay? If a person is saying no, we do not want to be confusing ourselves why the person is saying no. Say, for example, I have come with a collaboration for you. You like it, but this is not the right time for you. You want to still keep the offer open so that you can touch base with them in 6 months' time. Firstly, you have already done all the analysis to be honest to yourself that it is a no, but you need to tell me, I'm the person who offered you the collaboration, for example. Why are you saying no? Because that will help me keep the rapport with you at all times. Building the rapport with your clients, customers, competitors is very important. And if you can pick up that book, Art of Persuasion by Bob, that book actually explains how you can talk to people and how you can put across that message the same nicer way. So I would probably say, for example, John gave me, I'll always use him an example. John and Mary are my favorite people. They're my best friends, imaginary friends. If you can see, they're sitting next to me. John gives me a quick examples of saying, Moira, I want to collaborate with you. Let's do this. But at the moment, I'm the person who's quite self-aware of all my business. I've got a lot on my plate, which is going on, which I can give you an excellent example that I had a person from China who wanted to have a water board, trying to use all the water board around my area because I live around the lake area to start using it, that business. So I was a person who would be helping in the business 50%, and I had a lot of responsibilities. It sounded like an excellent idea because it's helping cleaning the environment and clearing the planet. But when I did it, like Dayanand, thinking about it, trying to say that yes, it is an excellent idea. I'm about helping people in the community, helping the environment and stuff like that. But I've got a lot on my plate. This sounds like an excellent idea. How about you just get started and we see how we go? In about 8 months' time, I will touch base with you and we can revisit the situation. Only because I've got a lot on my plate going on. I explained to him on the reason why I'm not able to take in with a contract. It's not about the offer. The offer is excellent. He's an excellent person, but this is not the right time for me to work on it and focus on it, because you want to tell them that if you take it on, you want to do a great job. Does that answer your question, Diana, with my own example? That was very, very good.
Dayanand says, thank you so much. That was really insightful.
Thank you.
We have
And
another question from Sanjana.
Yeah.
Can you share an example of a failed collaboration and what you learned from it?
A failed collaboration. Now, something which is not in it for you has a reason behind it. And I'm always very mindful about telling this to people. If it doesn't happen, there is a reason behind it. It is very, very easy for me to say, okay, that is not meant for you. Just forget it. If relationship doesn't happen, it's very easy for me to say, it is not meant for you. Wait, pause, trust the process. When the collaboration does not work, that means there is another opportunity coming out to you. Recently, not long ago, Naman is aware that I had issue with my own compliances of my organization. And I had a failure with a contract with that person who I approached with that collaboration. But I am having a couple of 2 other opportunities opening up right there, and which will probably help me grow in the business a lot better. And it's not easy to say, oh, you know what, the collaboration didn't work, but I really wanted to work with that person. Actually, I could have done this. I'm not implementing any of my religious beliefs here. It happens for a reason. And here it is, failure is a beginning of another success. And the more you hit the rock bottom sometimes is always a sign of growth. I think recently, just today in the last 24 hours, I was talking to someone and I was giving them an example. If a seed has to grow, it has to break open, go down below the roots and then grow out. So your failure of collaboration will then actually come out as a beautiful plant after. Are we okay with that answer? Is that still having any doubts, Anjana? How do you face it? Patience, revisit, look at it, do your own analysis, look at the health of the business. And if you think, oh, maybe go and tap into that person. Yes, I know we didn't go ahead. How about you actually revisit in 2 months' time, and maybe it will still give you that reassurance that you still have got a window there. Thank you. One last question before we wrap up, guys.
There's two questions. I think one is an older question that says, "What is your biggest flex, ma'am?" Which is it's a little bit of a Gen Z slang. Flex is what's
Yes. I was like, what is it? Flex,
Yeah.
the muscle flex? I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, kind of like what's the biggest thing that you're proud of that you achieved? It's more like that's the question. What's the biggest thing that you've achieved and that you're very proud of yourself?
Proud. I'm quite a few that I'm quite proud of myself. I would probably never ever want to put myself back in that negative scenario of my life. I am quite of a lot of it, but achieved, yes, recently. When I've achieved the crown, I did achieve a crown, but I've lost few important, most important thing of my life at the same time. Won a crown, I lost something else, but that loss came as a blessing sometimes. And with that crown came all my network. Cannot emphasize enough. Networking is the best strength I got. I came back to the country, put myself out there, and had great connections with people, and hence why the birth of Lifesavers happened, because I had this idea of bringing back this business back into India from a while, but I connected with an amazing person, an amazing business partner, and all the network and all the connection helped me give birth to Lifesavers First Aid. And I've got amazing team like Kashish, Prepej, Naman, everyone working around me, and an excellent business partner, Divakar, which you'll probably look on our website, you will find out how great he is with wealth of information. And my biggest strength is I talk. I can talk to a dead body as well. And communication. The more you communicate, the more you can identify and get information. And sometimes you need to do the LUV, listen to that person, and then you can talk back. That's a whole different communication session we can probably even go through at all of the time. And one last important mantra that I always want to say to people: dress for success, dress for who you want to be. If you want to be a successful business person, dress up. When I say dress for success, dress like a business owner. You don't have to spend a lot of finances or your budget or your capital to pull out and look confident. It takes all your self-care, which we were talking about, quick self-care ritual. I'll put it in the comments later on. What is that one thing that you do for your own self-care? It could be, I probably have a facial once a month. I probably take my dog to the walk. That is me and my dog time for 10 minutes. And bit of your self-care ritual, put it on the comment section later on. We will have a look. Having your self-care is also so important, and start dressing up. Once you start dressing up what you want to be, you will be able to get there. And we can also have a great success session all about how to dress up in a very basic, economical, affordable way. You don't have to spend fancy labels, and you can look very. And if you see a person, there was a quick, I'll wrap up quickly. There was a quick survey where a person was not dressed properly and was in need of help. Not many person came, but the person then suited up. The same person wore a nice blazer, looked very sharp, looked very crispy, but there was a whole audience coming there to help that person.
Moira, before you wrap up, I think there's one more question which I think is very relevant to the class. I'd just like to put that out. During an investment pitch, do investors bet more on the founder's mindset, or do they bet on the business model itself? What do you think makes them say yes? from an investment perspective?
It could be also the business model, yes, because as a business owner, even if I'm looking at investing in any sort of business, I need to, if you have studied the gap in the market, what the business is going to show about, and show the potential and document and show it to them. And I'm willing to do this. This is what I have done. This is what I've achieved so far. And this is what I'm planning to do. If you show them a clear vision of what you've achieved so far with your mindset, that will give them thinking, oh, this person has already done this. It's safe for me. And one thing is being teachable, the growth mindset. Every single day, you are learning a new, different thing in life. So if you can display the growth mindset, I'm sure everyone is happy to collaborate with you. Does that answer?
Thank you so much, Moira.
Yeah.
Sanjana also replies saying that's impressive. Thank you so much for the reply. That's so insightful. Thank you so much. Thanks. Okay, perfect. I think we can wrap up the questions now. There are a couple more questions that have come in on LinkedIn, but I don't think we have the time to take them right now. So
Yeah.
For all of you who'd like to still connect with Moira and maybe, ask her more of these questions that you have in your mind, maybe you can share your LinkedIn link in the chat box, connect with each other, and she'd be happy to talk to you one-on-one if you have any further questions about, being an entrepreneur or navigating the startup field a little better. You could take your questions directly to her on LinkedIn. She'd be happy to connect. For all of you watching on YouTube and LinkedIn, you can take a screenshot of her LinkedIn QR code and sign up to connect with her. You can scan this right away, or you can just type in her name on LinkedIn, and this is the picture that you should see. I'll give you a minute, maybe. Everyone else, in the meantime, can you please put in your LinkedIn link in the chat box so we can all connect with each other?
Kashi, sorry to interrupt. I think the LinkedIn profile photo is the one with the same red outfit. Maybe, I'm not sure.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah.
Maybe
Or
that's
you can connect on Instagram and then I can connect you, because I had an issue with 2 different LinkedIn accounts. We can go on Instagram either, and then I can connect you to.
Okay, let me put in your Instagram link as well in the chat box.
And
Yeah, I've shared the Instagram link as well.
great. Okay, thank you so much. And I will let you have rest of the weekend and enjoy and give some rest to your brain, or continue thinking and keep that algorithm going of your brain of what we are doing. And I'll be in India very soon, and I'll look forward to the birth of my other baby in India. And I will be seeing you around out in the community doing my work. And I will look forward to connect most of you in person. As I mentioned, I'm very old-fashioned. I love the face-to-face connection, and I look forward to see you at several classes and events.
Thank you. Thank you so much,
Thank
Moira.
you.
I'd love to also just take a quick minute to share the QR code for them to be able to follow you through Lifesavers. So if any of you are interested in knowing more about Moira's business, which is Lifesavers in India, then she has the same concept that she's been driving in Australia called Lewis Aid, and Lifesavers is the same of the same motive and the same goal and vision, but in line and collaboration with Mr. Devakar. That's going to be launching very soon. And Lifesavers is built to save lives, just like the name says. You can all be a lifesaver as well. You can learn how you can be a first aid certified first aid giver. So if you want to quickly scan this and know more about her business, and if you have any ideas to collaborate, she's open to it. If there are any entrepreneurs in the room here right now watching us on LinkedIn, if you have any ideas, if you'd like to collaborate with Moira or the team, then she's open to that. So maybe I'll give you another quick second to screenshot this or scan and save it or bookmark it.
Actually, just to add on to this whole concept, Oz, remember, emergency happens at home and it happens with your loved one. What can you do till the professionals arrive is what you would be a hero, a lifesaver, to keep them with you. I don't want to get rid of my loved one. I love them. Well, what can I do to make sure my loved one is safe with their health? till I seek medical help. And that is very dear to me. I have lost the most important person of my life, and I want to make sure no one else loses that person ever again.
Naman, I'm so sorry to interrupt.
Sure.
Naman, could you maybe quickly put in the website link even in the chat box if some people are not able to scan the QR code?
Sure.
I just got a notification from LinkedIn saying they're not able to scan because the clarity is an issue. If you can just put it in the chat box, I'll just yeah. So if you'd like to follow her business or know more, or if you yourself would like to become somebody who's a caregiver, a first responder, so you could apply here and connect with her to know more.
The best person to connect is we do have a lot of business and training opportunities, and you can choose whether you want to be an employee with us or collaborate. We're looking at expanding Lifesavers all across the state, not only in Karnataka, but all across the globe in India. And we will be going global. So we can have a chat and we can work on how we can collaborate. And as you can see, we made this session successful due to IBMR again. Thank you so much, PrepEdge. And we will expand and collaborate, and we'll probably use our own skills, what we have learned here when we are discussing about collaboration. And thank you so much. I'm happy to go. Have a good night, guys. It's about 11:40 p.m. for me, and it's bedtime in my pajamas, comfortable.
Thank you so much, Moira. Just give us a quick minute. Naman would like to end the class on a thank you note. So
Sure.
let's hear from Naman.
Thank you, Moira, for such an insightful and thought-provoking session. Your clarity breakdown the difference between mindset and skills, and your practical approach to handling uncertainty has given the students more of a direction than a theoretical knowledge. The way you challenged assumption and encouraged ownership truly resonates with everyone over here. We sincerely appreciate your time and value you have shared with us today. And now, on behalf of IBMR Business School, we would like to present you with a certification of appreciation to you for conducting this wonderful masterclass on entrepreneurial mindset and skills. Your structured insight, real-world experience, and engaging approach has inspired our students to move from ideas to execution with clarity and confidence. Thank you for your valuable contribution for empowering future founders with resilience and purpose. And on the concluding note of Saturday evening, we would like to share a couple more opportunities with you all. If you're planning to compete with competitive exams like MAT or
Just a minute, Naman.
ATM,
Just a minute. We'll let Moira go because it's too late for her.
Sure.
Maybe she can leave.
And I just wanted to say, how we were talking about documentation? Naman can told me 10 hours of thank you, but this certificate on my wall has a huge impact because every time I look at it, I know how humbled and honored I was to present this to amazing young people. And this is the power of documentation. Thank you, Naman. And I'll let you go. Thank you so much.
It's a pleasure.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you so much, Moira. I mean, I know you've already extended your time. It's late back in there in Australia, so we'll let you go while we conclude the class. But thank you so much for your time again. And I hope maybe we can have more masterclasses with you and maybe dive a little more deeper into the subjects that you were talking about today, especially the dress for impress kind of a concept really interested me. Maybe we'd love to explore something.
Oh, yeah, sure.
That direction as well next time. So thanks a lot for your time. And good night. Have a good night.
Thank you, PrepEdge. Thank you, Kashish. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Moira. Yeah, Naman, we can continue.
As we are concluding this Saturday evening, I would like to share a couple of important opportunities with all of you. If you're preparing for competitive exams like MAT or ATMA, you can scan the QR code provided. From this QR code, you can access ebook bundle at just ₹19. This bundle includes curated study materials, practice tests, and strategical guidances that will help you prepare effectively. And in addition, IBMR is offering admission scholarship worth rupees 25,000 rupees. Kashyap?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's not on the
For
slide. They can,
yeah,
but they can apply through
for
the website.
yeah,
They can
for
apply through the
yeah, they can apply through the website. It's to appreciate the students that reducing their financial burdens and helping them move forward to academic and professional goals. We encourage you all to explore our opportunities and take the next step forward with towards your future with confidence. And as you leave tonight, reflect on one simple question: are you only here to build skills, or are you building the mindset to use them when it truly matters? Thank you for choosing growth over comfort this Saturday evening. Wishing you clarity in your ideas, courage in your decisions, and conviction in your actions. Have a wonderful weekend ahead. Thank you. Thank you for joining.
Thank you so much, audience, for being very participative and very active. I thank everybody watching us on LinkedIn and YouTube for your patience through the relay. Thank you so much, Naman, for being a very wonderful host. We'd love to meet you again sometime.
Sure.
Bye, everybody. Have a good night.
Bye. Good night, everyone.